afternoon. This is Jimena Ramirez, and today we're going to be talking about Reynosa, Tamaulipas. As you can see on the image there, that's where it's located. It's southern tip of Texas. Well, it's in Mexico, but it's in a border town in the southern tip of Texas. So, according to GardaWorld.com, the Western governments have travel advised people not to um, travel to Reynosa, Tamaulipas anymore, or Matamoros, or any of the neighboring towns because of the increase in crime and everything that's going on there. Reynosa is a war zone. This is what goes on in the town. And a lot of the times when I speak to my friends here at A&M about the situation, they have no clue what Reynosa is or where it's even located. So I feel like by raising awareness, I have really brought to their attention and have talked to their parents about it, and they're really intrigued and wanting to help. But you can't want to help something you don't know about. So this has really helped that. And I feel like if the more of us that raise awareness, the more this will get better. The danger and interference from cartel groups has just grown over the past years. 2006 was when it all started, but it just doesn't seem to get better. In 2015, we thought it was going to be over, but it wasn't. So, speaking from a place where I've lived in Reynosa, I can tell you that it just gets worse. The cartel control is something that is just what is the biggest problem here. They, according to MexicoNewsDaily.com, in 2019, the Mexican government found 62 surveillance cameras placed in different payphones in different areas of the town, in streetlights, and they were owned by the cartels. And this was in order for them to surveil the town and see what people were doing and make it faster, escape police easier, and it just says a lot about what's going on in the town. How come 62 cameras were barely found in 2019? They had been there for about 5 years. So that just speaks a lot about what's going on. I spoke to Vicenta Martinez. She used to be a housekeeper in Reynosa, Tamaulipas. She worked for the mayor at the time from 2005 to 2007. She worked for him and she was a nanny to her kids. So she really did hear a lot of the things that were going on. She had a son that was 23 and a son that was 25. Her 23-year-old ended up getting involved with the cartels, and everything just went bad for him. He ended up disappearing. Just one day, couldn't find him. She went out and she knew who to ask. And they told her that to stop looking, that she was never going to find him. Her other son that was 25 came to the US. He made himself alive. And I feel like that says a lot. One son ended up a certain way and the other one ended up a certain way because of the situation they were living in. During COVID, this is Vicenta Martinez's neighborhood in La Juarez, which is a big neighborhood that's located at the outskirts of Reynosa. So for police to get here, it takes like hours. When there's flooding, this is where it gets flooded the worst. And I've passed by there, but I've never been inside. And she was telling me that during COVID, the people that were helping out these people that live in La Juarez, the residents of La Juarez, were the cartels. They would bring diapers, they would bring toilet paper, they would bring water, bottled water, they would bring just canned foods and blankets, things to help these people, medicines when they needed them. And she says that was really nice of them to do, but that at the end of the day, this was a sort of control tactic that these cartels are using. Now, since they have the power over these people, they are the ones providing for them, it just gets worse. And she says that if we just rose awareness, if we just told people about the situation, and we just, brought it to other people's attention, it would help so much, because now we could get donations and we could get people actually looking out, writing letters, and this would really help out. I also, the donating the supplies would really help these people not ask the cartels, because if they do that takes power away from the cartels. And the less powerful the cartels, the less fear installed in these people, and the easier they could just come about and live their normal lives. I also spoke to Miguel Ramirez about this. He used to own a maquiladora in Reynosa, Tamaulipas. He told me that, the minimum wage is very low in Reynosa and it's hard to make it on that. So a lot of his employees would ask him for normal things like paper, bottled water, all these things. And he would help. Like, he would really go out of his way to help. And he says that a lot of his friends that own maquiladoras and other businesses would help them as well. A lot of his friends that owns restaurants would just tell the people to take whatever was left after. But since these owners are no longer there, it's just gotten worse. They have to resort to the cartels to ask for these things. And there's no one really honest to help them out. The governments won't help. And the cartels are the easy way for them. There are also a lot of asylum seekers in Reynosa right now. According to reliefweb.int, there are many asylum seekers that are stuck in Reynosa with not being able to come out of the situations due to this is how they're staying, due to the increase in, people coming over, and the US doesn't necessarily take them in because they don't have the right papers or they're waiting their trial, and they can't afford to go back to their country, and they can't afford all that, so they're stuck in Reynosa. They're the most vulnerable to the situation. They have no idea where to walk at night or where not to walk at night. They have no idea about the dangers of the city. They have no idea if someone comes in and provides them a job, they're not going to say no, and they really don't know how bad the situation is. I've seen them because whenever I go by to Reynosa, I have to pass by the bridge, and they're there. Some of them selling gum, some of them wiping down your windshield, some of them just, walking around with the radio, and you know what that means. So it's just a very sad situation to see these people stuck where they don't want to be stuck. I feel like if we wrote letters, to congressmen, the Senate, and all these people, it could really, really help. I've written letters to the Mexican government before, and I mean, that didn't really help for me. Just to put it in perspective, the old the old governor in Tamaulipas is awaiting his trial here in the U.S. for money laundering and all these different accusations against him. So it's really not. It's not an honest. He wasn't an honest man. So, and he was a governor. So if whenever I would write letters to the senators, and I just get them sent back or just not responded at all. So if we just wrote to American politicians, it could mean the world of a difference. U.S. has interfered before. The wall is being built around Reynosa. It's one of the places where people go by. And if we just were able to raise awareness and donate to these people, it would mean the world of a difference. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but these people go and ask the cartels for food, and if we could provide that, we could really take power away from these cartels and make these people happy, give them a little bit of tranquility in their life. They don't want to be asking the cartels. They really don't. I tell you because I've lived in Reynosa and I see this happen to so many honest people, like Vicenta Martinez's son, that he ended up having to work for the cartels, and he just vanished, and his brother was able to come to the US and make a good living. And like Miguel Ramirez told me, he quoted, I'm quoting him. He said, "Those that have nothing to lose." So these people really have nothing to lose, so they go on, and they don't care about the people living in La Juarez, like I said before. Thank you.